understand coffee just as an example to criticize commercialization that breaks the human relationship to make money. And so my question is, coffee culture in Thailand go in which way to more social or more profit profit? That's my question in this presentation. I just mentioned about Howard Schultz. He is the founder of the Starbucks. He wrote that pour your heart into it. In his book, he emphasized human relationship with customers is very important. So they serve, Starbucks serves the best coffee. Maybe there are many people who are criticizing his book. People are wondering who are very successful. They just making profit. Just this over superficial. They are emphasizing human relationship. But anyway, I believe Howard Schultz emphasized he think important the human relationship. Now I just briefly mention about the capability approach that I am more involved. The capability approach is proposed by Amartya Sen, he got the Nobel Prize in 1998, just after the Asian crisis. He is more humane, and he criticized to use income to everything and to evaluate our human well-being. But he proposed to use the capability. That means what we can be. So I applied this approach to coffee. That means what we can do with drinking coffee. This is just an example. For example, material functions such as we can get aroma, taste, or nutrition, or caffeine, or some social function that is for rest or for social intercourse with people. And for the coffee growers, it's the dry product. And there may be many other functions. So I apply this approach to the thinking of coffee. We can divide those functions into two groups. One is just to make other people or social with each other. That's a social function. The other is just a means to make people awake to work or to study. So my question is which way we are going to. Now I want to go back to the history of the coffee drink because you will find out that coffee has very many functions in the social function. The history of coffee is full of romantic stories. I think they like to talk about these stories because some flavor of coffee. I think many of them are very curious. Coffee originally came from Ethiopia, more specifically in the province of Kaf, which was the origin of the word coffee. But there are many other theories of the origin of coffee. And there are two legends of the discovery of coffee. One is the story of Ethiopian goat named Kaf. So he found his goat is very happy after eating the coffee fruits. Another legend is that Sifo Ma and the bird, he found a bird. Also, the bird was very happy with coffee cherry. Coffee cherry means red coffee fruit. And coffee then brought to Yemen around 6th century. And the cultivate there and export through the port of Roma. Coffee then spread very to the Arab, Persian, and Turkish of Islam. And thus, coffee was transferred to the religious ceremony of Sufi as a cure for drowsiness. But later, coffee houses were opened in Mecca and quickly spread throughout the Arab and became successful places where chess is played, gossip exchange, and singing, dancing, music, and enjoying. So it has a very social function. Then coffee introduced to Europe. The coffee entered Europe through Venice about 1615. The first modern cafe was opened in 1652. And in 1661, EOC, that is the Indian company began shipping coffee from Mumbai to Stella. At that time, there were two other great hot beverages that appeared in Europe. Hot chocolate was first, brought by the Spanish from the Americas to Spain in 1522, and tea, which was first sold in Europe in 1610. At the beginning, hot chocolate was for men and coffee was for men. You may remember coffee contact of Johann Sebastian Bach, which is a story of a father who wanted his daughter to stop drinking. So at that time, coffee was for men. And so I think that men's culture and politics and business are closely related. So often coffee has the story of politics. In the 17th century, England came together at coffee houses to debate on politics. When democracy was established after the English Revolution, it became a place for business. You know the Lloyd's, the insurance company, began life as a coffee house. It was started in 1688 by Edward Lloyd, who prepared a list of ships that his customers were insured. And in the United States, in America, the city of the first difference of coffee being found in North America is from 1660, and soon coffee houses were established in New York, Philadelphia, Boston, and now. And the Boston University of 1773 was planted in a coffee house. The name is the Green Drum, so it is a very interesting to find out. Tea Party was planted in a coffee house. And both New York Stock Exchange, and the Bank of New York started in coffee houses in what is today the financial district known as Wall Street. So coffee is very close to politics and business. Maybe equal as the culture of men's culture. Now, we turn to the production side, the spread of coffee production. In 1616, the Dutch brought some live coffee trees or beans out of Yemen back to Holland. So the Yemen strictly controlled not to brought out the coffee brought out from that country. But I don't know how the Dutch succeeded to bring out the coffee trees. And they grow it in India, Malabar, and some grow back to Amsterdam. But in 1696, the Dutch East India Company succeeded in bringing the first living coffee plants from Iraq to Pakistan, now Jakarta. And in 76, the first VOC coffee beans reached to Amsterdam. The coffee plants thrive well in the greenhouse for Hortus botanicus. A few coffee plants were given to King Louis XIV of France in 1740. The French brought the plants and brought the plants to their colonies in southern Central America in 1725. The French, from French Guyana means of trip. The trip is another romantic story. The story is Gabriel Matthew Ducury, French naval officer in Martinique. And that is most fascinating romantic story in the history of coffee. But as a kid, I don't talk about that story. So the coffee started from Ethiopia to Yemen and brought to Batavia, and then brought back to Amsterdam. From Amsterdam to Paris, Paris to the Central America, and spread to the world. This is how coffee was spread to the world. But when I visited the botanical garden in Amsterdam, there was the sign shows that says that one may say that the advance of coffee has started with a single plant based in hottest volcanic of Amsterdam. So this sentence emphasizes that it is a single plant based in the botanical garden, but I think this is not true. It's a kind of legend that they like. Anyway, they want to talk about how coffee in this country come from where. So somebody in the Central America may say that the coffee is coming from Paris in 1720 something. So they like this kind of stories. But I think most of them are Christian. From Arabica to Robusta, we have been talking about Arabica. But suddenly the world changed from Arabica to Robusta because of the rust disease. In 1908, the rust disease destroyed coffee trees in Ceylon, Sri Lanka. At that time, Sri Lanka was one of the major coffee exporting countries in the world. But the coffee was destroyed. Ceylon abandoned coffee distributed to tea cultivation. So I was thinking about this. If there were no rust disease, Sri Lanka is still exporting coffee to England, including England, and England is still a coffee drinking country, and maybe the United States is a tea drinking country, and coffee. Boston Tea Party would be a Boston coffee party. I think it's a very strange historical evolutionary process of a kind of disease. Now, from Indonesia to Vietnam, in the until the mid-1990s, Indonesia was the biggest robusta producing country in Asia, but it was taken over by Vietnam in the mid-1990s. Vietnam is over the continent of grow coffee trees and export of coffee. Now, the Vietnam is the second biggest coffee exporting country in the world. Coffee producing area is spread around here. The southern center, this is called the Central Highlands near the Cambodian border, and so around the southern part. And this is a coffee producing area, which was brought in the early 20th century by the French mission. Now, coffee in Vietnam, and I think you hear the third here, Vietnam is a coffee exporting country because we don't mention the country of producing country of Robusta. And the program of Vietnam is that they produce very low quality coffee. And I'm very hesitating to show this picture because it's not polite for Vietnamese produce, but this is really. I bought coffee from middleman in the producing area, and I separated. This side is good coffee, the other side is very low quality coffee that cannot be exported. Maybe 40% is not good. There is some reason why Vietnamese coffee growers don't care for quality because the price is set. How many percentage of the bad quality coffee is good? So they produce a lot of low quality products. In my paper, I made a mistake. On page 6, it changed it correctly. The third problem, a reason why Vietnamese farmers are indifferent to price is wrong. They are indifferent to quality. They don't care quality. So the bad quality coffee, how they use. So the coffee being producing, they develop their coffee to drink low quality coffee. One is to roast very deep, which removes unfavorable elements of low quality of coffee. Another way is to put a lot of sugar and milk, and which has unfavorable elements of coffee. And you know, that's the way we drink coffee in Thailand. Not only in Thailand, but in Brazil, Vietnam, in many producing countries, they develop this kind of drinking. And this kind of coffee is very familiar now because of Starbucks. I don't say they are using a lot of quality coffee. They are best. But that's the way to drink low quality coffee. And it becomes the Starbucks becomes so fashionable that they just case of super busy, super model Linda Evangelista. She likes Starbucks coffee better. So she said, take up half top. I don't understand what this means. Anyway, she takes it she takes it fine. And so I'm looking for who is Linda Evangelista. So she's carrying a cup of Starbucks coffee. So you understand how it's a fashionable nowadays. Now I'm changing the penny. But story about the canned coffee in Japan. No, Japanese is a country that consumes canned coffee also most of the world. Maybe no other countries like drink canned coffee like Japanese. And about 80% of the consumers is a businessman. And there are so many vendors, so they in the morning they buy a canned coffee through the vending machine. And this is just the type is boss. So even they drink coffee, they are watching their boss. So, and this is very closely related to business for Japanese business. But before, the canned coffee is popular after the 1980s. Before that, there was many coffee shop in Japan. And this is a song of coffee. You know how different. This is very different. So, Japanese become more coffee after the 1980s. More coffee. Now they bring a cup of Starbucks coffee to the office. And I feel very happy to see this picture. This picture I took in prayer. I like this kind of coffee. Now, I come to the first question. Drink coffee with whom? Anyway, I don't like to coffee alone. Drink coffee alone. But I like to show you something interesting story. This is the price of a coffee in the world market. Every 10 years, in 75 and 85 and 94, there was a peak of coffee price in the world market. Caused by very poor service prices. But in 1997, the coffee price was increased. So Thai people remember very well. That was a part of the speculative money to Thai Central Government. So the speculative money flowed into the coffee market, so price increased. And coffee producers were very happy, and so produced more. And as a result, oversupply caused the price going down. Then this is the coffee prices. We say coffee prices, and many farmers suffer from the low price of coffee. They abandon growing coffee, and they become very poor. And the globalization of such a financial money makes our world unequal. Not only the world, but also within the country. That makes our economy and society unequal. And inequality, I just mentioned that during the crisis, even in the crisis in Thailand, some people are making big money, and they can believe that they are good thing because they are making money. But that's a very economist view, and I don't like that view. And so I think, what is the result of the inequality? That's our health. Our health is deteriorating when the economy is unequal. The reason why our health is suffer from inequality is that our human evolution is related to the inequality. We have a long history of gathering hand that is not a very equal society. So our bodies evolved to live in a more equal society. And so I'm believing that we should more equal, not such an unequal society in globalized economy. And during the economy is more unequal, there appears a sustainable coffee, which is aimed to help poor coffee growers. So you know the fair trade and other certificates such as the Rainforest Alliance and Tuskape. And in Thailand, we know Golden Coffee. Golden is Princess in 1988 initiated. Coffee is another cash crop that serves opium and plantation growing food. This is I took a picture in Golden. And the similar thing happened in Vietnam. This is people in the Central Highlands. They grow very good coffee, contrary to the story that I mentioned before. They grow very good coffee, and they make a coffee for me, and she roasted with the frying pan, and she make a coffee for me. It looks like a tea ceremony. So they have a very sophisticated culture of coffee drinking. This is a picture I took in prayer. When I talked with her, she took me to see her coffee tree. And so the last part of my presentation, this is the most expensive coffee in Japan. It's kilograms of coffee beans at 3,330,000 yen or 3,300 US dollar or this is a bottle. This is only 200 grams. It's 10,000 yen. So this is very expensive. I bought this one for this conference. And when I bought this, I feel very impatient. And at last I opened this already. When I opened this, is with whom I read this. So I come back to the first question. When I have a very good coffee, I want to share this coffee with somebody. Somebody, very good friend. And this is the owner of this coffee, and he's my friend. He keeps in coffee in a very air-conditioned room, like wine cellar. And when he has to sell very expensive coffee, and so he has to explain why this coffee is good. And so he has to show on the PowerPoint how this coffee is good. So come back to the first question. The owner of the coffee shop has to explain how this one is good. So conversation come back. And my presentation. Thank you.
Anyway, so please give a round of applause to Professor Kento. Dr. Simon Choi is Scientist 1 at the USDA Digital Research Center at Thailand University, and he was a specific expert at the Freedom School of Nutrition Science and Policy. And he takes interest in the association between nutrition and cancer. He has published various papers and books, including a book on nutrient and gene interaction in cancer and nutrient epigenetics. And he has also authored many outstanding research publications and numerous book chapters and reviews, and received the Director of Scientific Recognition Award in 2006 from the Gene Maker USDA Digital Research Center and the Johnson Award in 2008 from the American Society of Nutrition. Today we'll present a paper on food to breast preventive medicine. Please welcome Dr. Simon Choi.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, and thank you for the invitation. It is a great honor for me to speak here today. Please excuse my rude manner for a talk, because I'm so energetic. I can't sit down to my Maybe this is speaker. Because I don't want my PowerPoint slide. Okay, can you hear me? So today I'm going to talk about what your grandmother didn't tell you about nutrition. That will be real things. This is our research center. I work in Boston. In front of our nutrition center, there is a fast food place called McDonald's. So many people going to the McDonald's to buy hamburger, but I cannot go because if I go to the McDonald's or if I bring the hamburger to my research center, my student and postdoc look at me. Do you eat McDonald's? Because you're teaching and behavior like this. We have another wonderful restaurant. It's a very lovely place. We love to go there. The name is Montien. I don't know its correct pronunciation. It's so lovely place. It's a Boston mark, and then it is certainly is the best Thai restaurant in Boston. So nobody paid me to go there, and then we are happy to go to this mountain for lunch because they provide healthy food and my teaching behavior at sea. So I love Thai food. Before I start my talk, we need some agreement between you and I because to understand my talk. First of all, not all nutrients are created equal. So all nutrients are different, but all nutrients are important. Do you agree with me? Because some such as water, we must be consumed in a large amount every day. Others, such as mineral, arsenic, should only be taken in tiny amounts. But all of them are important. Whatever we make kilogram or microgram, all of them are needed to build our body and repair our body. So all nutrients are important. You can agree. But it could be hard to agree with me about all nutrients are alive. I'm some kind of dogma. Nutrients are not dead chemicals. They are all alive. Why? Because nutrients interact with genes in our body. When nutrients come into the body, they interact with genes and environmental factors. Environmental factors means that it factors other than genetic factors. And nutrients, drug, and aging, and exercise. How? Biochemically, genetically, and epigenetically. Probably you are not familiar with epigenetics. I'm going to talk about this in detail. So, because nutrients and genes are crosstalk, so we need to listen to their crosstalk. Well, how they interact? Because this is what is paradigm of nutrient and gene interaction. This is for the methyltetrahydrofolate reductase gene, a gene needed for the folate metabolism. There's two genotypes. One is CC and TT. CC is a wild type. TT is a variant. In high folate status in our body, then TT genotype has half the risk of colon cancer. But in case of low folate status, the risk is rather increased. In other words, nutrients differently react according to the genotype and thereby modify the risk of certain disease. That is nutrient and gene interaction. They interact differently. You know honeybee. I love this. The honeybees grow to be either queen bee or worker bee. And they are genetically identical at the larva status. But when the bee honey queens fed pure royal jelly, so if they fed royal jelly, they grew up to be a queen bee. If they are fed by nursing bee and the bee bread, regular bee bread, they become a worker bee. In other words, that the diet, royal jelly and bee bread, when they enter to the larva, and they modify the DNA, so determine their phenotype. So they are so different. So the queen bee has 4 child and has big features. And we think that certain texture and modification we call DNA manipulations work as a mechanism which determine their phenotype. The another model for the mouse. The maternal metadietary content, the methionine, choline, folate, and B12. If the maternal diet has a lot of this kind of nutrients, then it modifies certain part of DNA. So gene expressed over here, the offspring's coat color. The hair color will be black. On the other hand, the maternal diet is low in these nutrients. They cannot modify it, And then the gene expressed from here make the yellow color. The yellow one has a tendency to have obesity and insulin resistance. So maternal diet affected their phenotype as well as susceptibility. So previously these mice that ate the diet rich in genistein, genistein, bioactive food component, and then you also shift to the yellow. So the genes for bioactive component can change the phenotype of their offspring through this mechanism. This is human study. Monozygotic twins, they are the same. Their genetic sequence are the same when they are young and they grow old. But this epigenetic phenomenon, they are similar when they are 3 years old, but 50 years old, they have different patterns. That means environment, including our food, change their pattern of epigenetic phenomena so that they change their disease susceptibility. So I keep on talking about epigenetics, so that my analysis of this is described. So what is epigenetics? The word epigenetic refers to genomic information that are superimposed on the DNA sequence. Epi means super, over, above. So all DNA sequences are the same, but the epigenetic phenomena change their, modify their structure, thereby all expressed differently. So inheritable biological phenomena that modifies DNA and DNA supporting structure we call histone, and thereby affecting gene expression without DNA change. They just change the DNA structure and affect the gene expression. The most important thing is our nutrients, our food, cannot reverse mutation, cannot change our polymorphism. But our food, our nutrients, our bioactive food compound reverse this phenomenon, thereby change the gene expression. Thereby we can prevent disease. So among many different phenomena, epigenetic phenomena, I'm going to introduce one thing, DNA methylation. DNA methylation is a unique modification of DNA and the most common genetic phenomenon in eukaryotic cells. And so for the C base, the methyltransferase catalyzed this reaction. So acidonis methionine donate methylglucose. So make methylation. And acidonis homocysteine is inhibitor of this methyltransferase reaction. So any nutrients that can directly affect the methyltransferase or can change acidonis methionine or acidonis homocysteine could change the DNA methylation, thereby change the gene expression, thereby prevent or exacerbate the disease or pathological process. So if it is fully methylated, then chromatin structure is compact. So transcription factor cannot enter it. So most of the genes are repressed. So if it is unmethylated, it is widely open. So they can accept the transcription factor and the gene starts expressed. And aberration in DNA methylation creates a mechanism role in carcinogenesis. So by inhibiting the nutrients, so we can reverse or delay this aberration. So that we can see. There are many nutrients or active food compounds are known to directly affect this DNA methylation status. So we think that those nutrients can be used to prevent certain cancer disease through this mechanism. So this is all that I want to tell you today. This is based